Victor, end of the 2017 season. Spent a little bit of time reflecting on the game itself. I know just talking with you a little bit, just how much that game stood out about the GNAC, about your team, but also just what this season kind of represents for you as you now have a chance to kind of look at it in the review as a whole.
Yeah, speaking of this team, it's just when you got to look at just the 2017 crew, you see a young group that continue to grow every single week. Now we had some veterans in some key spots, but you're looking at collectively who the team was. They came out obviously very high hopes because we're always going to put the top tier aspirations there. We're obviously we've told ourselves in the program, and we make no apologies for it, is that we want to be a perennial powerhouse. We want to be national champions every single year, and so it's everything we're doing from January to the kickoff of the first game of the season is working on that, and then you have your season, and then there, I guess we go back to the season is just like the great adventure. You never know what's going to happen and all that. Football is a chaotic, violent sport, and things are going to come out in there, whether an injury happens or new guys will rise up based off what the situational needs are. So you plan your best to do it, and now you got to be able to adapt, and you've got to be able to keep growing through the season. And that's where I think this team's going to be marked with one of the best growth mindset teams we've ever had. To be able to finish it the way you did on Saturday night, to put an exclamation mark on the season, and knowing that, hey, this senior group and the collectively group around them said, we're going to make a statement about this is who we are. And it was physical. Man, we physically got after people. We played fast. You took down a top-ranked team, and we took them down in style. And you know what? Everyone made plays across the board. And I'm excited to see that this is that capstone they put on the 2017 season. So as I evaluate everything going on in the program, as our coaches evaluate, we're always looking for that little edge about, hey, okay, how do we become that much better of a program? And we're going to find that, and we're already doing the research and doing the evaluations. So I'm excited to say is that the staff was already in earlier and getting things working on this next season. So it was a good year, great people, great time on Saturday night for the Brotherhood.
Coach, you said it was a physical game, obviously, and definitely from an outsider's perspective. A lot of big hits, a lot of guys on the ground. Just talk a little bit more about that and kind of how that preparation and the way it's been building all season to where this was maybe arguably the most physically dominant game you guys have had from kind of top to bottom.
Yeah. Football is a very physical sport. And as soon as you step away from that reality, you're going to find a real disappointing mark in the season. I think for us, we always are going to be a physical team. We always are saying, hey, at the end of the game, you're going to know you played us. Now that is a strategic edge for us, and we were out there and we were physical, and it showed up. It showed up big time to where the fourth quarter they were worn out, and our guys continue to build momentum. And so our brand of football will always be to be physical first and treat it like a heavyweight fight and just come out swinging. And our guys did that. And when you do run up against another big physical team, you're not going to be shocked by it. And I think they were shocked by it. And our guys, they took it all the way and play with that type of brand that we strive to be. Now in that, you see where the game is some real highlights, where Andrew Elfers capping off the season with 6 touchdown passes. You see Weston Carr having an All-American type of season, in my opinion. You get to see the defense with 6 interceptions and 1 fumble, or 6 turnovers, with the 5 interceptions and 1 fumble. You get to see the guy like Waki Suliafu just be able to bring the hammer down in that fourth quarter the way he did in his unique style. You get to see, I think, everything our football team strives to be, and we put together a complete game. And as we watched the tape and evaluated it, we're excited. There's still areas to keep getting better at. And so as coaches, we're going to keep finding those ways to tap into that potential.
Coach, in talking about the physicality of the game, just talk about the mental toughness of the guys, because Colorado did bring it back to 35.
Yeah.
But to finish out like that, what is the mentality of the guys going?
Well, we talk about it all the time that, hey, the scoreboard's a liar. If you try to pick up your emotions based off what the scoreboard is or the momentum of the fans, now you're talking about the limbic system and how it plays off of outside influence. Now we're going to control our focus. We're going to control our momentum, and that was it's a good football team we're playing, and that's why I think it was such a good win, because we knew that they had that capability. They were scoring around 60 to 70 points a game. So for those guys to score points, they've proven they can do it. So now the way we have it is to say, hey, we're going to attack this at 30, whether it was the first kickoff or whether it's tied 35-35. So all in all, I love it. The fact that it shows a lot about our team's maturity and how we did grow up through the season. Is that, hey, we're going to keep going. And, we had that moment happen earlier in the season, and it didn't necessarily go the way we like it. So as a staff, we talked about it this morning, so that's a big marker to see how much this team grew up. And we're always going to be a team that just keeps getting better. And I think that's been a mark of our football teams around here, as long as I've been the head coach, is that, hey, we're going to keep getting better and keep learning, keep growing. And a lot of those times it's happened with championship seasons. This time it wasn't that, but yet you're able to find a way to get 7 wins and continue to build off and punch yourself into the punch your ticket into the off season and say, hey, we got some momentum.
What did you learn the most about? What did you personally learn the most, and what did your coaching staff learn the most about coaching collegiate football players
this year?
This year.
It was said to me earlier is that we get older and more mature in the time the more you do this, but the players stay the same age. So when you're talking about college football, college athletics, you're always dealing with that 17 to 22-year-old window. And what I've learned is that even though you have some veterans in some key spots, you've always got to make sure you take that first January meeting all the way to that first fall camp meeting and realize that no, this team is its own entity. So whatever happened in the past, it doesn't necessarily carry on in the future. So to take a harder approach of saying, let's make sure we're going to lead the team and guide the team and hold the team to a standard as if these were all newcomers to the program. So you never take anything for granted. The old John Wooden approach about, hey, let me teach them to tie the shoelaces every single year, even though they know how to do that. I think that showed through. That's a big part for me learning. And I got a long way to keep growing and learning until the day I'm done with coaching. I believe that there's always something new to learn, and I did that with it. And I think every team will bring a unique personality to it because it's people. It's a people business. It's a human performance business. What we're trying to accomplish is not build a widget in a factory. You're building a championship team that's relying on people and their giftings and talents. So personalities play a lot in it. How do you mold them together? How do you get the chemistry? The dog could die for one guy, and then the girlfriend could break up with another one for another guy. And now it's like that changes the whole dynamic as well. So keep the focus from the very beginning to the very end. And as they grow and create their own personality and they mature throughout the season, that's when you begin to adapt your leadership. Blanchard talks a lot about situational leadership, and I think that's really showed through for our team this year.
Coach, just walk us through what the off season looks like now. What are the steps? Just on the calendar wise, what are some significant dates for your program, and then what are the biggest opportunities for growth and development as a program within that process?
Well, we're full-fledged right now with recruiting. I mean, you're trying to make sure you bring this class all the way in, and you're in the recruiting battles all the way till signing day. It's going to be interesting this year with the new early signing period, how that affects us, and then we're going to go into the February signing period. You're going into kind of a dead period right now for the next 2 weeks for our program, where they're going to be focusing on their studies, focusing on making sure get their lives in order to finish strong with the academics. One of the big things for us here is academics. They need to make sure when they come to college, they're here to get a degree. So we're going to challenge them in that area, put a lot of energy in the academic side of things, and a lot of energy in the recruiting side of things. Then we go off into the Christmas break. We're going to give them targets that they have to hit when they come back, physical targets, just things, just goals for them that when they come back and report on January, that they are ready to start this thing, start it fast. And then you get into your off season, and you get into spring football, and you finish up your recruiting. And then for our coaches and our staff, we're all about evaluating the season. We're going to go through, watch all the games again, learn everything we can from the season, and then begin to prepare for the very next season. So there's never a dull moment, and there's always work to be done, and that's why I love this game. That's why I love this coaching and doing what I do, because not only is it the relationships you build with the players, but I'm a constant competitor and constantly trying to get better and have that growth mindset. So I got plenty on my plate, even though we don't have a game this week.
And as you talk about that recruiting, and obviously you can't talk about any of them specifically at this point, but what is that player who's going to commit, whether it's the early signing period or the February signing period? What does that type of player look like?
Well, for us, it's we're looking for that special person. You know, you see a lot of great athletes, but we pass on a lot of them as well, because we're trying to find that unique game changer DNA. And it's somebody who's going to buy into our brotherhood type of culture. It's going to buy into the building champions while pursuing championships mission statement. You know, there's a lot of young men out there. It's just disappointing that, you know, you're providing an opportunity to really grow as a man and grow in academics and get your degree and launch out into life, but it's very myopic in their perspective, and it's all about just football. And if it's just football, you're not going to be able to maximize this opportunity at Azusa Pacific. And so, similar to, you know, a special forces type of operation, you know, we're going to sort through, but there's only some unique people that will really be able to handle this challenge here, and be able to rise up and maximize this opportunity. So, you know, the athleticism alone is not going to cut it. Academics alone is not going to cut it. You're looking for that grit factor. You're looking for that background, that hunger. You're looking for that young man that has a vision for his life. And similar, just the type of coaches we have on our staff. And you know, this is your opportunity to change your life. And I'm always talking about, hey, you're either the first, but certainly don't be the last. And what I mean by that is that some of them, it's going to be you're the first one in your family to ever graduate, or you've had families do that, and you know what, the baton's being passed on to you. Both are going to take grit. Both are going to take its own unique type of challenge that you're going to have to fight through and want this for yourself. If you're looking for football or just the college, just the places to land, that's your identity, you don't have what it takes to be here. If you're looking for football to be a training ground to grow into this warrior man we talk about, where you're going to use it to bring together an opportunity to get college educated, now we're looking to launch those type of people out of our program into the community and continue to make differences.
Great. Thanks, Victor.
All right, thank you.